All right, so this is the first official vlog of meet prep. We are doing I am doing a competition in Omaha in the second weekend of May. So we're only a couple weeks away from it. And so transitioning out of just general strength into like a full out peaking block. Not the most ideal way to do things. Obviously, you'd want probably a more lead up into an event to better prepare for it. But I'm going to kind of take you guys through my thought process on how I am going to be prepping for a meet on like basically 3-week notice of doing it. We started meet prep yesterday with doing some Zercher carries and yeah, they doing Zercher carries, trying to replicate a Conan's wheel. I didn't vlog it. I was more so trying to figure out what that was going to be like for me. So I didn't want to be focused on a video for that. But today we're going to be doing more power cleans and deadlifts. I was able to get a deadlift bar from Big Most Strength. He's my neighbor. He lives just across the way, and he's got a deadlift bar he's not going to be using for the next few weeks, so he let me snag it from him yesterday. So we're playing with the deadlift bar, trying to get some elephant bar work done. So this meet competition that I'm doing in a couple weeks is kind of unique for a couple of reasons. One, it's only 4 events. Typically, strongman events are 5. 4 is not uncommon, but you see 5 more often. Only 4 events. There's no press event, which is kind of nice for me. I love press events. It's probably my favorite thing to do in strongman, but I've still been dealing with this elbow tendonitis, I guess is what I'm going to call it, issue for the last 2 months. So like while I could do a press event, it's probably not ideal that I'm trying to push it right now. So this kind of gives me a nice little break, because what I'm going to do for meet prep, since there's no press event, every single day is a lower body day for the next 3 weeks. And that might sound a little crazy, like you're not getting any breaks, but really if you're just trying to focus on basically what I boiled down to in my brain as 2 specific events, all I really need to do is practice those 2 events. So getting really specific with very short time frame to try and get as much out of it as I can. And also, I just don't need to pre-pressing right now, so we're not going to. So this competition also unique because they're calling it the super meet, the Ed Cohen super meet down in Omaha Barbell Club. Reason it's called super meet is because they are going to be alternating between strongman event and powerlifting event. So there's a 15-person strongman event happening, and then a 35-person powerlifting meet. So they're going to go finger fingers, squat, Conan's wheel, bench, Hercules hold, deadlift, and then finish it up with, what's our last? Deadlift? I don't know why I can't even think of what we're doing. I think that's the 4th event, is max elephant bar. great place for it to be. But you know, it's kind of like what powerlifting does. Yeah. So really unique. It allows me to not have to have my conditioning be so pristine, like I'd prefer strongman to me. Is going have a little bit more effort or like conditioning, be able to go fast and recover well during events. With the way this is set up, there'll be probably an hour and a half, 2 hours between each event. So it's going to make for a long day, but I don't have to be like, okay, we got to go as soon as you're done with the last event. Nice for how I'm having to prep for it. So like I said, I have 4 events to do, and this is how I'm kind of breaking down each event. So Fingal fingers, can't really train for that. I don't really like, I've seen people put a barbell in a landmine and like walk it up. And I could do that. Maybe I will one time, but it's just not, it doesn't seem that like it's going to be more cumbersome than actually like beneficial, because it's still far enough away from what a Fingal finger looks like that it's just not going to be that helpful. So in place, I'm doing cleans and power cleans. Just working on, because when you do a Fingal finger, you're gonna be throwing it up here, catch, and then push. So working on that explosiveness to rip it up off the ground with this, and then the full cleans like I'm doing today are taking place of my squat. I'm not going to basically squat at all. My primary movement of the day is going to be, for all my days, is either going to be the Zercher, yoke carry, or deadlift. So the second event is Conan's wheel. I'm going to be doing Zercher, yoke, walks, holds, in place of that. So day 1, I'm doing carries. The Conan's wheel is max distance in 60 seconds, allowed to do multiple drops. So I'm going to be practicing that. I'm going to be picking the yoke up, taking it down, dropping it, going underneath it, coming back, and just continue doing that so I can practice getting that re-pick in. Because that's, a lot of people can like suffer really well right here, and that works. But once you drop it, can you pick it back up and continue going? Because it's, especially when you're carrying something really heavy, that second, third, fourth pick just feel horrible. So we're going to practice doing multiple of those. And then on the second day that I do Zercher carries, I'm going to be just holding it in place. That way, less beat up on the hip joints, knees. Instead of carrying it again, I'm just going to stand up with it. And this will be purely like, the focus won't be like working on the conditioning of the event. It'll be actually just on like, here, can I suffer for that time frame? And just trying to build up capacity to just sit here and want to die and continue doing it. Because that's really what a Conan's wheel is how much can you suffer? Nice one. Kind of grab the bar a little wider on that one. Just feel it. did not feel good. Event 3 of the meet is a elephant bar deadlift, 10-foot bar. Talked about it in the last video. So we're going with the goofy plate setup again. Putting them out. I put them about a hand width out, a little less for me at least. And then put them out a little ways to try and just get more weight to bend at the end. And then one thing I'm adding to it in the home gym is I'm going to put a block underneath. After watching the videos from in Massonomics, it still wasn't bending like I wanted it to, because it's just not going to be able to replicate how bendy that elephant bar is with how they load it and all of that. So I'm going to elevate it just ever so slightly with just a one block. It's only 1.5 inches up. Or not even, it's not even an inch, just an inch up, just to give it a little bit more of a closer to where the starting point of that elephant bar deadlift is. With it only being 2 weeks of prep, basically, like I got this week, I got next week, and then the following week would be like meet week, comp week. So I have maybe like 4 or 5 deadlift sessions in. So we're just kind of going for it, seeing what we can do. So how I'm basically going to set this up. This week, it's just going to be first attempt, or in that ballpark range of first attempt. So I'm thinking something in that 585 range. Saturday, I did 535. Felt like garbage. That's why you don't go out late the night before you try to do heavy deadlifts. But again, I was still just trying to figure it out. So today, we're going to try and get up closer to that 500, like mid 500s, upper 500s range, and just see how it feels. And then, yeah, probably do that again later this week. And then next week we'll do second attempts. Do that twice on my 2 deadlift days. And then the next week I'll do some lighter deadlifts, maybe like last warm up, and that'll be like my last deadlift session, and then it's comp week, or comp day will be the next deadlift session. All right. I think it's important to note that I don't really expect these deadlift sessions to go well. I don't, just been in a bad way with deadlifting for a long time. Just never feels right. Always just beats on me more than it should. Guess I'm getting old. But then also just being so specific with it, with comp prep, of just doing 2 days of Zercher carries and 2 days of deadlifts. Like the low back is going to feel it. It's going to be stiff. Like today, I did my Zercher carries yesterday, 500 pounds for 4 runs of about 20 feet. My low back feels stiff right now. So these don't feel great. Ideally, I would space them out a day or two. Just the way my week's going to go. Had to do it the very next day. But but we just got to make it through. Like I said, it's 2 weeks, so if your body can't handle getting beat on for 2 weeks, then how strong are you really? The last event for this competition I'm doing is Hercules hold. Again, not a real good way to train that event without setting up a whole heck of a lot of stuff. So I'm just going to do grip work as much as I can. I've been doing it every day. It's not something I've really ever focused on. I dislike doing grip work, but I've been doing it every day because it's something simple, easy. You can burn up the forearms a lot, and it's not going to be a complete ass kicker. But yeah, what I have set up now is my way of trying to get myself accustomed to heavier weights without actually pulling them. So I have way too much weight, 695 loaded up on the bar. I'm going to now be basically, I'm going to pick it up and then I'm just going to lower it slowly, as slow as I can. I'm going to do 1 rep with it, obviously. That's all I got. But it's just a way to get myself used to the big weights, and hopefully it can transfer over. That, or I'm just going to just kick my butt. Okay, so it didn't work quite as well as I wanted it to. I was hoping to be a little bit slower on the way down, but as you can see, that's really heavy. Dang it. Whew. All right. That didn't work as well as I thought I was going to be able to do that. Maybe it's just a little too heavy. I'll try doing it again, like in the lower 6s. See if I can just have it be a little bit quieter on the way down. That would be the goal. That's all I got. Power cleans, deadlifts, eccentric only deadlifts. When you're in meet prep, it doesn't need to be a lot. It just needs to be exactly what you need. Be specific and kick butt at it. Come back, get stronger. All right, follow me. Make sure you hit subscribe. And let's rock and roll.